Do you want to date beautiful women, but you find it almost impossible not to end up spending a bunch of money? Well, I have dated models and beautiful women from all around the world, and I've done it without breaking the bank and spending astronomical amounts on dates. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through 5 dirt cheap dates that women love that are my total favorites to do. So, first one, and this is a favorite of my current girlfriend because we'd met up twice before. We'd gone for a coffee and then we'd gone for a drink at a bar. And then on the third date, most men, they might step it up here. They might go for a restaurant or start to make things more expensive. Instead, I did the complete opposite. I decided to go and take us to the airport. We drove to the airport and watched the planes take off and land. And she constantly tells me how much she loved this date. It was super personal because I brought a bunch of snacks and we just kind of sat there. We were in the car, we were chatting, starting to get to know each other more on a deeper level, all whilst we had these sort of planes taking off and land. It was what she called a really romantic, perfect date. And it cost me maybe $10 in snacks. Then the second one, and this is a personal favorite of mine, but it comes from the fact that I was kind of a loser growing up. Basically, whilst everyone else was out having fun, drinking, meeting girls, when I was younger, I was baking cakes with my mum. But this has now given me what I think is probably one of my most successful date styles, in that I just ask a girl around and see if she wants to bake something. Like, oh, do you want to bake cupcakes? And I found it to be really successful. The fact that you're baking something together, it's really quite constructive rather than just like lounging around, not doing much. Being able to bake, it's quite playful, all girls like it, and it's actually just a really fun, easy, cheap date. Realistically, the ingredients to bake like cupcakes, once again, about $10. So it's a really awesome pick, and I've done this with a lot of different girls and it's always gone really well and they always appreciate it. And it just shows a little bit of competence. So, the third one, and this is one I go for more often than not for a first date, and that is walking or hiking. Like, I will always organise with a girl on a first date. Oh, there's this park I know nearby, I think it's really cool. Do you want to check it out? We'll go for a walk round there. And once again, really, really cheap. Like, all we're doing is going for a walk. I get so many sort of comments about guys saying like, oh, they can't afford to date, it's so expensive. Well, genuinely, the majority of time, like, my dates just don't cost that much because I'm confident enough in myself that I don't need to shower her with gifts. I don't need to do all of these things to win her attention. I know that merely just myself is enough. So realistically, I don't need to do all of those things. I don't need to spend the money to try and fill a void of how I feel about myself. I'm enough on the date. And for us to go round, it really takes the pressure off. One of the reasons why like a walking date is actually quite a comfortable one for a first date is because you're like side by side, you're looking out to the world together. You're starting to like engage with different things that are out there. It prompts conversation. I've seen it work really, really well. It's very low pressurized. And you also get, once again, like a sense of momentum to the date as you're kind of walking along 2 different places together. Damn. Then, on top of this, if you're into hiking, go for it. I have a client this week that invited a girl to go out for a hike. I'm not much of a hiker, to be honest. I like running more. So I'll do a casual walk, but other than if I'm coming up recording on here, I ain't going up any mountains. It's not for me, to be honest. So then, instead, number 4, and this one is probably the one that I enjoy the most, and that is just hosting a mini games night. Like, if you want to just get creative, it's like we have played slutty Jenga. So you just like write things that you have to do on the Jenga blocks, and when you sort of press them out and you take them out, you have to do the thing that you wrote on it. Very fun. Or if it's a little bit earlier on, There's a bunch of games that I love. You should check out The Mind. It's one of my favorite games to play with a girl because it's really intimate. It forces you, as per the rules of the game, to like make a lot of eye contact and be really synced up together. So I highly recommend The Mind as a game, but whatever games you like, girls just want to feel like you're being creative, that you're doing something different. The benefit of doing these kind of dates where it is something just a little different is you're not like every other guy that she's gone on a date with. It isn't just, oh, we're going to the bar again. How nice. It's like, no, you're trying to just make a fresh memory. It's very important to be kind of unique and answer that question of why you? And this is a great way to do it. And then the final one, and this is a classic, but a lot of guys get it wrong. And that is the movie date. Because when guys say, oh, do you want to come around and watch a movie? Most of the time that means just kind of sat there watching it on a laptop and kind of it just descends immediately into him trying to make a move. And girls are kind of clued up to this. So what I do instead is actually make something out of this. I will actually set some fucking mood lights up. Like we'll have the mood set, we'll have some actual snacks and stuff, and it will just be more of a thing. It's more memorable. And a lot of guys kind of get afraid to put effort into dates for fear of coming across as maybe needy, like, oh, look at all this he's putting in. But if you're confident in yourself, it isn't needy. I do these dates and have a little bit of extra planning because I like it. I enjoy the process of dating. And if she's going to perceive that as needy and want to move away, well, I think there's plenty of other girls that would want to go on an airport date, have an intimate movie date. And that's the thing, be confident enough that you can put that effort in. You don't need to play it cool in every scenario. If you're confident in yourself, it's actually the wrong thing to do. Because when you find the girl that is genuinely interested in you, when she sees you putting in effort, it encourages her to put in effort. The dates that I went on early on with the girl I'm dating now, like, she then reciprocated this and it made me feel good. I offered her the opportunity to plan a date and then she kind of went all out. And that was just because I wasn't half-arsing it on mine. I was doing these things that weren't that expensive, but were kind of creative. And that's what you can do. You can have these amazing dates with beautiful women and they'll really love them. And they are, all of them, dirt cheap. So if you want to start having these amazing dates, you've got them organized, but you don't want to turn up because it's no point having a cheap as fuck date if you end up being boring on the date, then I recommend you check out this video here where I talk to the main problem guys get wrong when they end up boring girls and turning them off. So if you want to be charismatic on a date, it's a very simple change. So check that out and I'll see you there.